Fentanyl is possibly the most addictive drug on the planet.
Yes, exactly. It's an opioid, and it's a pandemic in the U.S. now because it's really hurting bad. Like not only the people, like drug addicts or people in the street, but also moms, dads, working people, regular people. It's killing a lot of people because a lot of drugs are being laced with fentanyl. And those guys, that's what amazed me. While they were cooking, while they were like setting up, I was asking like, how do you move from one business to another? How do you move from cooking heroin to lace it with fentanyl? How do you move from that to pure fentanyl? How do you move from that to meth? You were like dealing with marijuana not long ago. And one of those guys was like, telling me like if it was like a proper established business, it's like our clients in the U.S. they started telling us that the heroin we were giving them wasn't strong enough, so we had some small drops of fentanyl into that, and they liked it. But a year went by, and they're like, it's not strong enough, so we added some more, and now we're adding like a lot. So like this cold kill a huge animal, and they're liking it. They're liking it. We're getting good feedback from our users. Like you have like a feedback system on how to make drugs. How? Like did you like someone calls you or your boss or whatever? It's like no. Like the street vendors, when they're selling, they're like, you know what? It's not selling good because my client says that there's a stronger heroin around the corner with the old guys. So we need to bring this one stronger. So he says the guy he buys from and that guy from the guy he buys from, and he goes all the way back to that cooker, to the
Interesting.
to the cook. And so yeah, it's like I just received the orders, like put more fentanyl into that heroin. It's not strong enough now, and he does.
I always wondered, I thought it was a little counterproductive to make the drug so strong because so many people are dying, but now I understand if it's immediate feedback from the users to the cookers. Then
exactly. Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense. Like, that's what I understand that. Like, okay, so these guys, yeah, because it wouldn't make sense for these guys to be killing their clients in the US, It wouldn't make sense like for them to be actually like, yeah, just have it like super strong so they fucking die or an overdose. They know that and they talk about that and so like we don't use this shit. That we don't use any of this shit. That's fucking strong. Those guys are crazy. And I'm like, you guys are cooking it. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but we don't use that. Like those guys are asking for stronger shit every time, more and more. And I'm like, but they're dying. And it's like, I know, but that's what they want. If they want to kill themselves, that's on them. I'm getting paid to cook. And I'm like, wow, that was revealing, That was like really something, like how they actually see the issue. Because we tend to think that these guys are like the bad guys, like putting fentanyl and cooking and so like, yeah, they're gonna die in the US. They're actually like, wow, that's strong. I don't know if they should be using this shit, and they lace a bunch of stuff, chloride or I don't know, like a bunch of stuff they put into that mix, and then they start, like just mixing it, but you get the fumes, and they're like strong fucking fumes. I was wearing one of those masks, and I mean it was awful. It was bad.
You could still smell it.
You could still smell it. You could still feel, the trees around the area were all dead, like around that specific area. They were all like dry
from the
fumes. Yeah, like in a specific circle, all dead, like all fucking brown dead.
No trees. Shit. I thought that was just the environment when I was looking at the videos.
Yeah,
photos.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll see that. No, there's not like that.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. It's only around that. You walk like a couple of feet from there, and it's green again, like green leaves, healthy trees.
Wow.
But it's that strong. It's that crazy, and that's for a couple of batches only.
How much fentanyl does a couple of batches look like? Is it
Well, what they were cooking there, they used the bag of the precursor to make fentanyl was a bag like that, filled up to the middle, and they used like a corner of that. Like the rest was a lot of other shit with heroin and I don't know what, and then they make this paste. When they cook it, they cook the whole like a broth, and then they leave it to dry, and then when it's dry, it's like a paste, like a brownish paste. And they told me that the quantity they used into that of the precursors were worth like $200, $300, something like that. And what it was in the bag, for when it was dry, in Mexico it was like 20 grand, and in the US it was like 100, 120, 200 grand. So he's like, we have a lot of money here. And I'm like, shit. And I was like, so what if the government comes like right now? So like we just like burn everything and just grab the gold, just this is the worth, the precursor and this shit. Let's go. Everything else, just like burn it. They took me to another place around, all burnt out, and I was like, did they? Yeah, like someone told us like, hey, the military is on its way, so I had to burn everything, grab the shit and go. And we were gonna make the double, like twice the batch we did there, but we only managed to do one before they came. So that's where we're cooking this second batch to make it for that. And I'm like, okay, and then from here, what's next? It's like from here, the boss shows up. Apparently the boss was the brother of the old cook. And he's like, yeah, my brother is like very intelligent, man, not like me. I'm only a cook. And I love marijuana. I love to harvest marijuana. Have a beautiful crop of beautiful weed, man. Good quality, all natural. I want to show. He was like so proud of his weed crop, but he didn't like working into that. But I was paying the bills, It's like,
Yeah.
and he felt like he was supporting his brother. He's like, my brother came out with this idea, like, okay, we can cook this shit. I can find the proper supplier in China. I'm gonna bring it. You're gonna cook it. I'm gonna export it, and we're gonna make shit tons of money. And I was like, is he? And he's like, yeah, he's making shit tons of money. Like, because he doesn't take it all the way to the US. What he does is he sells it to someone he doesn't even know. But there's a transport in the middle he just pays that. Like, okay, I'm gonna send this quantity of fentanyl to the US. All right, it's gonna be 2,000 grand. And he takes requests from everybody. So he carries a Cessna or a car, it depends, with a lot of drugs from different narcos. It's like, have this meth. That's why they were like putting a name on the badge.
Oh shit! So he's delivering to all the cartels.
So the delivery guy, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm taking from Sinaloa to the border.
That's not the cook though. That's the transporter.
The cook he just cooks, and then he gets everything ready. His brother arrives, takes the batch already in bricks to the cook. I mean to the delivery guy, all branded. It's like, okay, it's like 6 bricks of this shit under my name. Off you go. There's your money. And he's like, okay, I have a trip to Mexicali. Who else is gonna send me shit?
Wow.
And then another guy jumps in and is like, I have like some meth, I have some coke, I have some weed. There you go.